Oh yeah, y'all! It's the 60th issue of Tommy Reed's X-Men. Can you believe it? Let's roll that intro. Tommy Reed's X-Men. Tommy Reed's X-Men. It's cool. What's going on? It's your boy back at you again with another Tommy Reed's X-Men. Today, we are looking at X-Men number 60, written in September 1969 by Roy Thomas, with art by Neil Adams. This one is called In the Shadow of Sauron. Not that Sauron, Lord of the Rings fans. We talk about another one. The last issue ended with the X-Men leaving Trask and the Sentinels with the help of this judge that was in cahoots with Trask at first, but then decided to have a change of heart. Now this issue kicks off with Cyclops and the judge kind of recapping what happened in the previous issue. Now, in the previous issue, X-Men number 59, I'll leave a link down here so you guys can check it out. It was a good issue, but they kind of said previously on X-Men, to quote the animated series, they kind of did that in a recap, a little thing on the top of what happened. And I like that much more than the characters kind of recapping what happened for us. I mean, that's fine once in a while, but when you guys are standing around, remember when this happened? Remember when that happened? It just doesn't seem authentic, man. So the X-Men leave Trask in his Sentinel lair, and they take Alex, who's injured, to go see the mysterious Dr. Lycos. As they're leaving, the judge tells them, yeah, I'll free the other mutants that Trask kidnapped and set them free. And the X-Men just trust him on this. Why would you trust him after he was helping kidnap you? You know what? Y'all some trusting folks, and I don't know, that just ain't me. Be no, let me see you set them free right now. We got time. Alex ain't going nowhere. He ain't getting any more hurt. Oh, he's dead. Cut to the mysterious Dr. Lycos working with a patient under hypnosis in his office. Now, the X-Men contacted him because he was a colleague of Charles Xavier, and Papa Chuck know the worst people. You know what I'm saying? This guy seemed shady from the little panel they showed in the last issue, and now he's hypnotizing someone, doing some weird things to him. Now, he treats Alex, he says he has some broken ribs and he's resting, but really he'd like to work with Scott and Jean. Now, if I'm Scott and Jean, right when I hear that, I'm like, what? We're fine. Quit looking at us like that. Maybe we should go? We should definitely go. We're out of here. Thanks, Doc. We'll just pick up my brother when he's healed. That kind of thing. He was looking at him super weird. The doctor even suggested, oh, why don't you guys come back later tonight so I can examine you? And Scott's like, what the f-? Back at the X-Mansion, Bobby, Hank, and Scott are working out in the danger room, and Jean and Lorna are hanging out. And it's at this point where I realize they've just kind of dropped the whole, you guys are not a team anymore and everybody's going to live their simple ass lives and whatever kind of thing that they were doing maybe about 5-6 issues ago. They totally forgot that, and now they're just back at the mansion sans Papa Chuck. Jean calls Lorna Bobby's girl, and loudly she says, oh, he's not my boyfriend. No, no. Now, perhaps hearing this, and while Hank's talking about, I wonder if the judge freed all those mutants, because they never bothered to check up on that and see that it happened, Bobby says out loud, for no reason at all, how hot he finds Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch. Now, maybe he said that because he heard Lorna saying, we ain't a couple or whatever, and he was like, I'm going to put it out there, blah, blah, blah. But no, it was totally weird, not a character, especially for Iceman. At Dr. Lycos' office, while he's standing over Havoc's, sleeping body or whatever, he starts to launch into his backstory. Now, this is weird, not because it's his backstory, because we need to know his backstory, but does he need to tell it out loud? You know what I'm saying? He's talking to himself, essentially. He's like, oh, when I was a boy, that kind of stuff. And maybe he's talking to Alex, who's knocked out or asleep or whatever, because he can't sleep if he's monologuing like this or whatever. But anyway, his backstory, he was a boy. His father was an explorer, and they were on some kind of expedition, as one explorer does. And he was wandered off because this little girl got lost. Now, he went looking for her, found her in a cave, and there were some weird ass dinosaurs there, like pterodactyls or whatever. And he fought them off, but he got bit. Then he started getting sick, real sick. And then he realized he could drain the energy out of things, a little bit at a time, people, animals, a psychopath would do. And he realized that when he didn't do that, he would get weaker. So he became some kind of energy vampire that, consumes energy and enough to probably kill someone if he wanted to. Later on, when he became a doctor, he discovered mutants and stuff, started working with Papa Chuck. under the ruse that he was going to help mutant kind, but really he thought, dang, these mutants might be a source of super energy, you know what I'm saying? I could feed off this fool for weeks. And that's exactly what he did with Alex. Now he starts taking energy from him the same way the living monolith did to Alex. Like, what is it with this guy? Does he have beer-flavored energy or something? Any energy for him, it's too much for him, and suddenly he morphs into this pterodactyl-looking fool called Sauron. He's basically a pterodactyl in jeans, and he takes the name Sauron. Shout out to all of my Token fans because he's a reader, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna go with the ultimate name in evil. I'm gonna go with this giant friggin' eye in the sky. My name's Sauron. What up, y'all? I forget when Tolkien died, but he didn't sue nobody for this. Like, you know, that name he came up with, and Marvel just adopted. Maybe he and Stan Lee were drinking buddies. I don't know. I don't know the history, or like his estate didn't sue. But it's not like suddenly I could just change my name to Stefan Urkel, start being cool, and dancing to Babyface and stuff like that, and claim to be a scientist. But no. Somebody would sue me, and I'm surprised nobody sued Marvel over this. Or did they? Comments. Leave them. So naturally, a giant dinosaur in the sky is going to make news. And then the news reporters start reporting it, you know, helicopters, whatnot. And so they go on the news, and the X-Men just happen to be watching the news because, you know, they weren't going to check back on Alex that night, and they damn sure ain't going to visit the doctor at the night. So they go and check the news. They're like, oh, what's that? And so they need to investigate. So Angel, having wings, takes off. He runs into Sauron first. Sauron hypnotizes him. Cliffhanger. End of issue. Let's get to some final thoughts. All right, y'all, some final thoughts on this issue. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10, and I'm going to tell you why. Because there was a lot of action in it. I know I didn't really cover it too much, but like there was fights and stuff left and right. We got Sauron's backstory, and I always liked Sauron. You know, Sauron in the Savage Land, I remember that part in the X-Men, the animated series, and then reading about it in sporadic comics that I would get here and there. And, you know, I always thought he was a cool villain, you know, Hypnosis or whatever. Kind of like Sir Hiss from Robin Hood, and Robin Hood's my favorite Disney cartoon ever. So a lot of the stuff from Robin Hood kind of translates later. Watch when I talk about Hawkeye one day. Anyway, so I always liked Sauron. He was a cool villain, and I like the fact that they mentioned the Tolkien thing. Like, he got the idea from reading Tolkien, and as a reader, you know, I like a good book shout out. Anyway, so 7 out of 10, pretty good issue. I enjoyed it, and can't wait for the next one. Now, if you like what you see, or are mildly entertained, please like and subscribe down here, hit that bell notification, leave me a comment, some kind of form to let me know that you're watching, and do your boy a solid. Help spread the word about the Tommy Love Stuff channel, YouTube's best kept secret. Got a lot of great stuff on this channel. If it's your first time watching, please check the playlist to see some food reviews in the ChubCon playlist. Got a lot of random reads, more Tommy Reads X-Men. We talking comics on here, even talking a little old school wrestling. Like I said, if this is your first time watching, thank you for letting me entertain you. If it's your 50th time watching, I appreciate you just as much, if not more so. Until then, we're going to have another issue of Tommy Reads X-Men coming up soon, and we'll be back later. Later.